Not done.
You are so silly.
We're just gonna find different ways to do it.
Dang.
I
Oh
need
my
you, like, I
goodness.
need you to match whatever
I
energy you
can't
bring.
do it that good. No matter how
Yes, you
hard
can.
I try, I could never be as good as doing
Miranda,
that.
how many people do you tell on your team what do you say to them when they say they can't do something?
Listen, okay, there's something different about your brain than any other human on the planet, and I can't, it's above my pay grade. So
Miranda, that was not the question. You can leave it alone. I like
oh
your
my
shirt.
gosh.
You got some new gear on. Oh, we got to
Thanks.
pop our collar though.
I think, oh, whoops. I think that,
And showing her
I,
boobs, and this is why you
oh
need to
my
come over to
gosh.
YouTube.
So
This is why you need to come over to YouTube. Everyone watched it on
here's,
Spotify and Apple. Miranda just showed her boob, so you got to come over.
so speaking of which, it was so funny.
Speaking of boobs,
I keep hearing about you apparently sucking your way to the top of the company, and that you said that in front of like 500 people that you suck hard, you suck fast, and you suck your way to the top of the company. And our
well,
guest
hold
heard
on,
that
hold
too,
on.
didn't you?
Yeah, you're like totally taking it out of context. So we talk about like everything that you do for the first time, like you just suck at it, right? And so that's all we were kind of referencing is like sucking is okay, just as long as you just suck fast, right? You just have to suck really fast, like suck hard. And like, or you could be like me, like I not only suck fast, I sucked hard, but like I just sucked my way to the top, right? Like I just sucked. And Miranda's taking this way out of context, and I don't know how much I appreciate
So
it.
those of you that missed him telling a whole bunch of people that, and what happened was not very few people even knew who we were. So it was even more funny because they were more shocked. You should have saw everyone's faces. They're like in the crowd. It was amazing.
I would literally have people walk past me in the hallway, suck fast, yeah. I'm like, okay, yep, yeah. Suck hard. Okay, yeah. Yep, let's do that. Let's do that. So Miranda,
Okay.
today we have here's what I'm going to say. We've had like some pretty special guests. I don't know if we have ever had anyone come on that has done $100,000 in annual premium volume. This is capped. This is not your BS uncapped numbers where somebody goes out there and just writes one policy for $100,000. This is like 60, 70 applications a month, 3 months in a row, $100,000 in annual premium volume back to back to back. Some might say that's amazing. Miranda, we might say that's total badassery. So, to introduce our guest, to teach each and every one of you to not suck at sales, is the one, the only, Ashley Richard.
Whoa, John, I have to correct you already. You know I love correcting you. It was over 100 applications every month too.
Okay.
Okay,
All
I
right.
just, I love to correct you
And
any chance I get.
the part that's even more impressive is that she's a single mom with two young boys who homeschools them and did it. So, like, let's just up the ante a little bit there.
Yeah, like Miranda, this is our podcast, so we get to swear. Like, what the fuck is your excuse? Honestly, like homeschooling, getting her kids to and from like ballerina, dance,
Why do
softball.
you go with ballet every time you say it's soccer? Let's go with soccer, John.
Okay. All right, we could do that. I don't know. Ballet. No ballet. Soccer. Soccer's in. But to and from extracurricular activities,
Mhm.
right? Making them lunch, making them breakfast, making them dinner, putting your kids to bed, and then you start working. And she lives in Florida. And so then she starts working out in California, starts working in Arizona. We all have excuses. And some people use those excuses to say, I can't do it because of that. Like Miranda just did. I can't say it the way that you say it, John. But some people are like, Ashley Richard, I don't give a shit what your excuses are. Watch this. Hold my beer. Ashley, you want to correct me on that one too? Or hold
No,
my
keep it going.
martini?
Keep it
All right,
going.
hold my beer. So, this is the brain that we get to encapsulate right now, that we get to just understand, that we get to dive into. So, we're going to take the next look at user 57639. It's like, fast forward to 5 minutes and 32 seconds because it was just a waste of time up until that. Well, user 57639, you watch this. Ashley Richard
Yes, sir.
writing 100 application 3 months in a row. What type of mindset did you have in order to be able to do that? What was it? Like what triggered that first of all? Right? Was it something kind of in the back of your mind? Was like what was it that you said, I'm going for this? This is my number. This is what I want to do. And then why did you have the confidence to be able to kind of make that decision?
Yeah, I mean, it was triggered by a lot of things. It was triggered by my past, just what I had been through, what I was going through in life. I was just kind of stuck in like this mental rut where I was thinking about all these things that happened to me, and I don't like being in this victim mentality type of space. So, a lot of you guys know I'm direct to Ryan Miller. You guys are in the same hierarchy as me, so talking with Ryan, I was like, I need to do something. I'm too focused on this negative crap. I need to do something positive. On top of that, just having all of these women over the last 4 years that have reached out and just been like, hey, I've been through that too, me too. Like just finding a common ground of women who have been through some serious crap. Um, and then on top of that, just being like, psychotically competitive. I definitely have some competitive issues. You guys have the same issues with being competitive. So, I was like, Ryan, has anyone written $100,000 in 30 days? Like, I got to do something. And I had already reached my goals from the previous years, like by September. So I was like, I'm not pushing myself hard enough. I know I can do more. And then, he was like, yeah, some people have done that. And I was like, all right, it's 2023. I'm a huge Jordan fan. I'm going to do a three-peat. I'm going to do, 100,000 3 months in a row. Boom, boom, boom. And then, at that point, I've already been in the business long enough to know that you can track everything with your numbers. It's not like you just wish and pray, like, okay, maybe this will happen, maybe it won't. You can go back and look at your numbers and structure your schedule to actually be able to perform the way that you want to perform. At that point, it's just up to you to mentally be able to stay in that space, to be able to do what you need to do and execute what you need to execute. And so, that was me kind of giving the middle finger to a couple people in particular. It was me showing women, like, hey, you can do this. You just need to put your mind to it. You need to have a schedule. You need to have a system. You need to have a mentor. You need to structure your week and your day. You need to work different time zones. Being a single parent is not an excuse. Being a homeschool mom is not an excuse. Not getting enough sleep is not an excuse. Like, what do you want to accomplish here? And then actually get a game plan of how to do it. And it was fun just, doing something that no one's done before. There's only one first person for that.
Who did you want to give that middle finger to? I think the world wants to know.
Haha.
I'm
Trust
kidding.
me, they both saw it.
There's two of them. All right.
That is such an important point though, Ashley, because a lot of times we can get beat down by other people's opinions, other people's perspectives of us, and that kind of prevents us from doing certain things. I know when I started in this business, my kids were 3 and 5, and I got a lot of people saying things about me about not being around as much for my kids. And I knew that, I was willing to make some sacrifices for a few seasons of my kids' life to be around for everything for the rest of their lives. And I had so many people like, and I was trying to give the middle finger to my ex-husband at the same time. I was like, screw you, dude, I can do this without you, like, but that sacrifice and me every day waking up to prove a point and make a difference, it changed my life, right? And I just challenge everyone that's listening to use that. That's a very that chemical that gets released in your body when you're mad and angry. You can use it for good. It's like a superpower. You're like, and I actually, when my life got really stable and I didn't have like any frustration towards anyone, right? I did a lot of self improvement. I didn't have that same power that I did when I had all that negative hostile energy. I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out, So we can all do that, right? And sometimes it takes our mentor to do that, help us with that.
What you're going to learn too is people are just always going to hate who gives a shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, Miranda, I'm sure they're like, oh, well, you travel too much with your kids. Why are you taking them on yachts? And why are you taking them on this? And why are you taking them on that? I'm sure you get bitched about and keeping them out of school too much. Like, just screw people, right? Screw what they think. Like that, honestly, like, I think I have one of the best attitudes out there constantly and consistently just because I truly don't care. I don't care what people think. And I think that that's what we've all kind of gotten to, right? We've all gotten to that point to where it really doesn't matter what people think of us. Okay, so you're going for the gusto mindset. So like you were triggered, right? We talk about that, Miranda, all the time, don't we? It's like our back becomes so far against the wall. And like Brian says this too, but it's like when the pain far outweighs the pain of change, when it far outweighs the staying the same, that's when we change. So it's like our backs get against the wall, and then that's when it's like, all right, I'm making this decision, right? And not necessarily that's what it was for you, Ashley. You're like, I just need to challenge myself a little bit more. So what have you found? Like going through this 100 applications a month for 3 months in a row, $100,000 in annual premium volume for like was there a groove that you found in your presentation to be able to give you that level of consistency that says, ooh, aha. Once I found that I really started doing this inside of each and every presentation, I knew I wasn't going to miss. I wasn't going to miss too much. And if I did, and I love your Jordan reference too, by the way, Chicago, born and raised, absolutely love the three-peat. Nobody else has done that. So I don't know who we can crown the greatest of all time, but I'm not going to go down that path. But what was it in your presentation that you found that was like, gosh, I know I'm in the zone when I'm doing this and I just don't miss inside of your presentation? Do you have that?
Yeah, I mean, so I knew that I was going to probably start to go crazy talking to that many people, having the same conversations over and over and over. So I was like, how do I actually just be present with people and treat them like people and not get carried away with the numbers that I'm trying to reach and make sure that I'm still like present in these conversations? So like I switched my whole schedule around. I was on like a very strict sleeping schedule. Like I was like meditating, I was reading, I was, like exercising. I was still doing all the things, teaching my kids, showing up to everything. Like I mean, I was traveling just as much as I normally travel. And so I was like, how can I balance all of this but still be present? And I think the big thing for me was actually meditating. So I was actually calmer and like in a more peaceful state for those 90 days than I was prior or after, because I was very intentional with what was going on in my mind. And so, I've already got, like a presentation figured out. I know, what to say, when to say it, how to say it, all that stuff. I know I'm good at sales at this point. It's just a matter of being present and actually being myself. I think people buy from me because I am truly myself on these conversations. Like I sound like a sarcastic homeschool mom. I don't sound like a salesperson at all. And so for me, it's like, how can I be myself? I make people laugh. I say stupid things. I like to joke. I like to just say whatever comes to my mind, like random things like that. I think laughter for me is probably like the number one thing in sales. If you can make someone laugh, you automatically make it like a less threatening situation where they're just like, oh, this is a real person. Like they're not trying to get something from me. And then you just sound more real. You sound more down to earth. I can get a feel of who they are as people too, and know like how much more I need to maybe ask certain types of questions or lead and guide the conversation certain ways as well. So laughter is like always my number one thing, whether it's booking appointments or it's like doing a presentation. Find a way to be a real person and make people laugh.
All right. I love this. And I'm going to go somewhere with this. And Miranda, you just got to trust me here, okay?
Oh, I don't know if I can do that.
He's
So,
got
I will say one thing before you go there. I've studied this, and if you can make someone laugh once on a booking call, they all will book with you. And if you make them do it twice, laugh twice, they're gonna actually show up for the appointment as well. And through the sales presentation, I haven't figured out the number, but you're so right, because it's like it makes people relax and it dehumanizes or makes the conversation human. And yeah, so good. All right, John, back to you. I'm
All right.
trusting you though, so don't mess this up.
Being, being truly authentic, I think is what you said, right? Truly authentic to yourself, right? And then do you do the same presentation every single time? You said, I know what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to say. And I know. Right. And so would you say the same presentation every single time?
I mean, I would say 9 out of 10 times, unless, sometimes you get, where you start that presentation and they're like, you know what, I didn't want to do this, or what does it cost? I'm not going to stay on the phone. I got to do this. Like, sometimes you get those people. So obviously I'll just start asking questions right off the bat. I'll still write apps on those people. Those are more fun for me because it's a little more of a challenge.
Because it breaks up the monotony of doing the same thing over and over and over again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, it's the same exact thing on repeat. Like I can multitask and do all kinds of stuff. I can do laundry and dishes and write multiple applications on multiple devices and talk to my kids through my glass door. Like I just have it in my head. It's permanently there.
Yeah. Because you've done it so much. I love it.
I
How long does your presentation last?
Well, when I was doing this, I was doing every type of lead. So I was doing like life leads and I was doing mortgage protection. I like whatever I could get, I was doing. And so if it's like a digital lead just for life insurance, I'm in and out with multiple applications in 30 minutes. Those I can be more direct to the point. If it's mortgage protection, I'm in and out with multiple applications in 45 minutes to an hour.
All right, but hold on. You're saying in and out in 30 minutes, but that's presentation and application.
And writing apps. Yeah. Cause I've got
So
all
would
these
you
apps
say
in
that,
my head.
so would you say that your presentation realistically is about 15 minutes?
Yeah. I'll give numbers probably 15 to 20 minutes in.
So how many of you in the chat would love to see an Ashley Richard presentation, a role play live on the Don't Suck at Sales podcast? We need you to go ahead and put what would you ask them to put in the chat?
23 for Jordan.
23 for Jordan. I like it. 23 for Jordan if you would love to see her do a live role play with.
We need you to actually write like live role play underneath, because sometimes when we go back and watch these, I don't remember what 23 meant, and I have to go listen to the episode and everything else. We need to.
I will remember, Miranda, because it's
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
All right, fine, done. Okay.
I'm just kidding. We will do that. All right, listen. We're gonna get her back. Ashley, would you be willing to come back on the Don't Suck at Sales? Did this time just not absolutely fly by? Okay. I know Miranda and I spent the first 5 minutes bantering back and forth, but we were having fun.
That was talking about you sucking, John.
Okay. All right.
Hard and fast. Yeah, that was worth it.
Just didn't you suck pretty hard and fast though in the beginning too?
Listen, I did not suck my way to the top, okay?
I didn't say that. Actually, I just said, didn't you suck fast and hard in the beginning?
Just in closing though, here's something that's important. So Ashley, the number one thing, have fun, be yourself, get through the presentation, as quick, like within 15, 20 minutes. I know that you came down to Fort Myers and did like a really awesome training on how to build trust on the doing presentations over the phone, right? Because every presentation you do is phone. Yes. Yep. Give us a nugget on what you think is a good way for people to build trust over the phone. I loved all the stuff that you mentioned there. So even if it was something that you mentioned at that boot camp.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I learned after doing so many presentations is obviously, like at this point, I've done it thousands of times. I started to see the same medications pop up. So even early on in the beginning, when I'm confirming their health one more time, because that's great if you can write business. That's not great if you can't issue it. Nobody wants to work for free.
We call it APV for show, issue rate for dough.
Yep, exactly.
APV for show, issue rate for dough, y'all.
So I realized that, blood pressure medications, like the same couple kept popping up. And then, diabetes medications, cholesterol medications, thyroid medications. It's like the same one. So if you just know a couple in each category and you're actually throwing those out there, most people don't know those. And I feel like that establishes your credibility too. So now not only am I, like a monotone, down to earth, like somewhat funny person on the phone, now I actually know some stuff that they don't know. So they're comfortable with me because I sound like a real person. And then they also start to trust me because I know some medication names, which is very easy to learn. And then after that, I would say it's just a matter of how you phrase things, like an emphasis on certain things, reminding people like, hey, you're not going to get approved today. I'm going to look at which carriers you would potentially be able to get coverage with, like an emphasis on the word potentially, or using the word confirmed when you're getting, bank info or social security number, stuff like that. Just using a different verbiage and how you say it establishes trust and credibility and all of that stuff at once.
Yeah. And I know that when I recorded myself doing a live presentation, it was 10 times, like in the first 5 minutes that I said the takeaway stuff, like assuming they say yes. I don't know if they'll say, and even if you're new, if you just do that, that's it. And then you have one more thing about the equity, how you look it up on Zillow. Could you share that real quick?
Maybe Miranda, maybe we can do that during her role play.
We could, but I want to hear it here. This is good. I want to hear what.
We're 21 minutes in. We're gonna
It's
start.
all right. We're good. We're good.
All right.
Let's hear it. It's fast.
Yeah, so Zillow's, a public site. I look up everyone's home on Zillow and I assume that I already, know the equity. I subtract whatever the mortgage amount remaining is from the highest amount that it looks like you could sell the home for on Zillow. And then I'll just say, John, did you know you guys have about $160,000 of equity in your home? That's amazing. Give them a compliment. A lot of people don't know how much equity they have in their home. So I'm, again, I'm someone that has a lot of knowledge. They need knowledge from me. So yeah, I'll look up everyone's home on Zillow just to get the equity.
I love it.
I love the idea of plotting them, right? For something so minimal, but you're in the position of power and you're telling them that they're doing something amazing, which makes them feel good, which leads to a little bit more kind of and trust in you. That's awesome. Spot on. It's so good.
I love it. Thank you, girl. This is awesome. And John sucks his way to the top, just for the record. So
I suck fast and hard while sucking my way to the top. I think there's something to learn from that. We can all suck our way to the top. It's okay. Not in the way that you two are thinking about it, and while you're laughing, it's not funny. But Ashley Richard, again, you guys put the 23 in. We're going to have her back. I would love to say thank you and goodbye, but this isn't going to be the last that we're going to hear from her. If she touched, she did amazing. Put the number 3. And if you really want to see her back, put the number 23 in the chat from Michael Jordan. I'm not going to use 45. We're just going to stick with 23. Ashley, thank you so much. Miranda, if they don't want to suck at sales, what should they do?
subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you. See ya.